God is moving. It's Young People Nation.
Welcome to Young People Nation. Listen to us weekly as we commit to bring transparency, healing, and truth to the everyday situations in life that might bring you down. Join us for your weekly dose of inspiration. Thank you for listening to Young People Nation. Make sure you subscribe so you never miss an episode. And now, here's your host, Eugene and Donna Perry.
Let's go. Christ is the foundation. Know his word gon' lead us. Know I'm already going. Taking steps I believe in. Giving guidance to the youth. Giving guidance to the lost. Giving the world to the project. Lead them back to the cross.
3, 2, 1.
Welcome to Young People Nation, and this is the Perrys, Eugene and Donna Perry, and we're graced to be the host of this amazing movement that God has given us. Welcome.
Welcome to here.
Okay, so we're in session 4. We celebrated Autism Awareness Month. That was in the month of April, and by the time you hear this, you know, April is past, but always be aware of who is around you. That is an amazing community of people. They're intelligent. They teach you so much. However, the major thing that we have learned is just loving them. It's so amazing. It is so amazing. And also, we recognize in the month of April that it's National Stress Awareness Month. Okay? And so we talked about self-awareness in the last session. In this session, you know, we talked about, before coming on the podcast, good stress versus bad stress. And again, we're not clinicians. It's our perspective, okay? So is stress inevitable?
Yes.
In your opinion?
Yes.
Okay.
You can't get around it. You go to the left, go to the right. Some kind of stress is going to be exhibited, whether you're trying to make it a work on time, whether you're trying to meet a deadline. And sometimes we put stress on ourselves because we want to be the best we can be. And especially men, they want to reflect that they are the best thing for their family, and they are reaching a different level in life to be successful. And especially the father trying to impress his father. But therefore they want to have that I am the guy that you can depend on when things are going right or going wrong. You can call on me anytime. And to keep that level, you had to go through different kind of stresses to keep that standard up.
That's good. And both of us, very athletic people in our younger years.
Yeah, you beat me playing ball. I saw it coming.
I wasn't going there.
She beat me playing basketball. I'm going to put it out there right now, but so I won't be held on the court of law. She scored them points on me, and I tried my best to stop it, but it didn't happen. It was like the NCAA playoffs. See you next year.
But that playing the game and that drive to win, you know, that's good stress. You understand? It's like you know, I'm gonna get this ball and we're gonna win, and then you're looking at your teammates because I play basketball, and so you're like, we're gonna win, and you got this, you got that, and so is everybody in place? Is everybody in line? I call that good stress.
Yeah, but see, you had the advantage of that because I didn't know you played organized ball, and you used a couple of those moves on me, and I thought you were just. You were just a
girl out there playing.
A girl out there playing and didn't know, and you gave me that daggone head fake, and I guess I flew all the way to China trying to.
Well, that's why you never take no one for granted.
You got that right.
Let me ask you something. Stress and anxiety, they often kind of work together.
They're just like peanut butter and jelly.
I'm gonna say this. Let's be kind to one another. You understand? Because since we've been on this mental health journey, since we stepped back, God required us to step back and really look at ourselves individually and collectively. It brought awareness to what really we had going on. And because we were so used to, we were busy. We thank God, let me say this, I thank God for our community, our mentors, people that have supported us and God just used them to speak into our life. Thank you so much. However, it was where you and I, it's like God fixed it, so we had to step back and look at ourselves individually and then look at ourselves collectively. And we had to make some adjustments.
Well, marriage as a whole, you have to consider what lifestyle are you coming from, and then will you make the adjustments so that each person can fit into the agenda of that marriage. Mm-hmm. Because like I noticed your family, which I envy.
I don't know why, because they loved him. Listen, disclaimer, first Christmas, he got as many gifts as I got. He actually still has the bathrobe that my mother gave him over 40 years ago.
Well, that's my favorite robe.
Okay.
And another thing with that was y'all did things together. Y'all actually could talk together without arguing. Y'all show affection and that you generally care for each other. My family was like, okay, it was a lot of individuality, mm-hmm. and we didn't work together, and it was a complete opposite of yours. Mm-hmm. Like you actually could sit there and talk to your sisters for hours. Mm-hmm. Back there then, my brothers would call me about once every 6 months, if that, and we didn't walk together in unity. But now we're doing so much better.
Praise God! I was going to say y'all are doing a lot better.
Yeah, we're doing a lot better.
Yes,
because I remember when we went to Germany and other places and all, and very seldom I ever got a phone call from home, or I try to call every once a month and everything, but we just wasn't talkative that we had to say something to each other every day.
But your mom definitely reached out a lot to call and check with you. She did.
Yeah.
You didn't want your mom to worry.
Right.
That was major for you. I remember you saying that often.
Yeah, but y'all talk every day. They talk every day from morning all the way until 12 o'clock at night. They talk to each other.
But I'm the youngest of 5. You're the oldest of 3 boys, but and Joyce, she's just a few days older than you. Mm-hmm. So it's just the dynamics of family, But yeah. What you recognize, I want to say, and you correct me if I'm incorrect, you made a choice. That's why family was important for you when we had our children. And everything, you like for the 4 of us, because most time when you saw one, you saw the other, and so that's why that.
But that was good stress, though.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That you enjoy that dynamic. Now, so I want to say, audience, when you see stress and anxiety, and they often work together, be kind to others when it's discovered. Be kind to people, because you never know a person's journey. Mm-hmm. You have no idea. So don't be judgmental. Don't be like, well, what's wrong with her? And she need to get her act together. Or he need to get it together. You have no idea of what that person has dealt with in their journey. Now, that's not an excuse to act up, but we have to be kind to one another. Mm-hmm. One thing I've noticed, and my father told me this when I got married, that bad money habits will make for a bad marriage.
Yeah, that's true.
One of the chronic stresses, and I've been working in finances for over 30 years, mm-hmm. is money, relationships.
Well, you got to respect money. You have to respect it and what it'll do for you. and take in consideration your spouse. Is that what I should do? Because whatever decision that you do make, you need to include them.
Absolutely.
That's like with me and you. I will not go into, unless I'm trying to surprise you, not go in these money ventures or do things without you feeling comfortable in doing it. And if I did do it, it would be just my money involved.
But your money is my money.
Well, you know. I'm talking about my
And my money is your money.
my throw around money. No, okay, well, all right.
You don't have that.
All right.
You don't have no throw around because, I'm like this when it comes to money. Okay, you know, if God places this in our hand, we got to be good stewards. I don't care if it's a penny. And so I don't have money to just go down the street and throw out the window and say, okay, you know, I don't have that because it don't belong to me. It belongs to God, but that's a whole nother Bible study.
Oh, yeah.
And so, but I want to talk about the chronic stressors, money, relationships, unmanaged health, or mental health challenges. These are bad stresses.
Yes.
You know, and so it is important, audience, when you recognize that you are dealing with some form of, and I'm like my husband, everything is not a demon. Some things you have a chemical imbalance. God has many ways of helping us. We just have to be open to what he is directing us to do. You may have to go talk to a counselor. You may have to take some medication. You may, whatever it is, the door he opened for you to be a healthy you, you've got to go and get that help. And so when I see unmanaged health or mental health challenges, since this is the platform for mental health challenges, when you see where a person, they don't want help.
You just have to let it go, which is easier said than done.
Yeah.
But in order for them to reach the point where they can ask for help, you have to let it run its course.
That's tough.
When a person told me, and I never forgot it, I said, why is that person like that? Why is that person always doing this? And the guy said, look, you don't know what personal hell a person go home to every day when they leave here. And I thought about it. I said, oh my God, you know, you're right. You don't know, such as what we used to do. It was a couple of guys that were airborne, and they would go and jump out of the plane, get paid extra money. And with the extra money, they went out and bought some beer and a little bit of relaxation and smoked a cigar before they went home. And they enjoyed jumping out of the plane and getting that little bit of extra money than face what they had at home. That's how stressful it was. If your home life is so stressful that you find it that you have to jump out of a plane to get some extra money or do something, an extra job, just so you had enough money just to buy a can of beer or a pack of cigarettes, you need counseling and you need to make that adjustment in your life. You need help.
Yes.
You need a lot of help.
You know, and I'm gonna say this, I'm very grateful for our relationship. There has been stresses in our journey, in our marriage. It hasn't always been good stress. Some has been bad stress.
Oh yeah.
However, you have to go get the help you need. And going back to self-awareness, it's easy for me to point the finger at you that you're stressing me out, but I have to look at myself and ask myself, why am I allowing this to pull me in? You understand? Sometimes we get pulled in because we're in a place we're not graced for. Okay?
Right.
And so it is important. I go back to self-awareness because at the end of this life, you know, God gonna ask you about you. He ain't gonna ask you about nobody else. It's going to be you and him. It ain't going to be nobody up there holding hands. You talking about, well, God, I didn't do that because they didn't know. What did I tell you to do?
Well, the things about it is people don't realize when God asks you those questions, he already know the answer.
Oh, yeah.
He just waiting for your response so that you can get your just rewards.
And, you know, you have to let go. And this, I believe, is a tough one, and I've seen it. Releasing those relationships that don't add no value to your life. None. It adds nothing. It stresses you out. It's always a withdrawal and never a multiplication. I'm not even talking about an addition.
Well, you talking about all across the board. You talking about family. You talking about friends that you have.
Yeah.
That person you always hung out with and got in trouble with, and they can't be drug into your personal relationship as family. Those are the ones you have to cut loose.
Yes, and so that's that self-awareness. That's going back to that self-awareness. And even when it comes to money, you know, sometimes there are things that happen in people's lives, they have to start over.
Yes.
And so there are a lot of resources out here to get the help you need. You have to understand that even though I may want that BMW, I need to get that Honda Civic. Okay,
and you did.
Right.
You got it.
So these are self-awareness. I talked to someone recently that went through a divorce, and they got rid of that expensive vehicle they got and paid cash for the new vehicle that they have now, and so that they can live in peace and stress free. Because being married, they could afford that, but being single, they couldn't afford that.
Right.
And so these are, you know, we have the power to release these stresses. Bad stress, let me say. We talked about being an athlete and the good stresses. You know, I remember us we could play basketball all day. That was back in the day, guys. Okay.
Yeah. Now it's aches and pains and bandages.
I'll shoot a basketball because it's still in me, but run up and down the court, that's that season of my life. Well, I don't know. I'm not gonna speak that, but you know.
I'll make it a half court and wait for y'all to come back. But
you know, just being aware in your life and just getting the proper help. When our daughters came to us and told us they liked us a lot better after we went to counseling, I was like, wow. They was like, you all are community.
I never noticed it.
Right. And so, you know, if you want to know the truth of how you are reflecting, ask the people around you that know you. They will tell you, and you got to be ready. That's on your job. That's at home. You got to be ready to receive that and not get defensive because that's their perspective.
Yeah, you might be that boss that walk in with the horns on their head and ready to skew somebody in a heartbeat or cut somebody off in the kneecaps, and you say, they just love me. They love me every day. And all the time, they just hoping that elevator will fall with you in it.
Well, I try not to be that leader and be intentional and just make sure that, you know, and I'm going to slide over a little bit. And when it comes to being a leader, one thing I like where I'm at right now is that our CEO is his signature is serve more, love more. That's his signature on everything he do. So when we are in a servitude mode and people recognize you care, that makes a huge difference. That you're not in there just for you. You're in there for the team.
Yes, he's a good guy too.
Yes, he is. Yeah. And so we're about to close and on this talking about good stress, bad stress. One thing I have learned is in the scripture, where the scripture in Philippians tell us to cast all our cares upon the Lord because he cared for us. What I'm learning, I'm not going to say I've learned, I'm learning that when things get a little too heavy, what my go-to is prayer. That's me. My go-to is I got to talk to God about this because this is becoming too heavy. And I can feel in my body when things are getting too heavy.
And I do that every time we go to the jewelry store. I go there and sit in the chair and I be praying while you over there looking to see what you're gonna buy. I said, Lord, let me survive this one.
Well, listen, team. Let me tell you all something. I don't ask. What do you say, sir?
I found out who David Zorman is.
No.
Okay.
David Yurman.
David Yurman is. I know who he is.
However, he asked me to go to the jewelry store. I do not ask to go to the jewelry store. He knows he's been with me for 40 years.
I must have been possessed.
I am not a window shopper. So, getting back to that, okay? When it gets too heavy, when life gets too heavy, what do you do?
I pray, and God come in with a confident word, and He gives me the peace of mind, and let me know that all things are possible through Him, and that my bank account will be good to go.
Amen. And I always tell my husband, audience, listen, God has blessed me with the credit I have and the income I have. If I want to go to the jewelry store, I buy it myself. However, what draws me with Him and makes me love Him is how He has been consistent in Him being a husband, a father, praying over me and our children. Now we have a grandson. Those are the things, when I hear it as a woman, I feel covered. And so, therefore, that helps me to be in a healthy space as a woman, because a woman must know that they are covered. They must know that security, guys, okay? And it's not in jewelry. It's in you being present. Being present, being right there, and they know you're there. That is what brings that, okay? So don't you all get off on no tangent talking about all that jewelry and stuff. No, anybody can buy a gift. However, but when a woman knows that you are present and that you got them covered, and that after God, you're next in their heart, that's a whole Bible study. But that is why I often tell my husband, that is why I love you the way I love you.
And I didn't pay her to say that.
Yeah.
Let's be real.
Okay, so we're ending this on good stress versus bad stress, and please discover what works for you. But definitely, please take care of your mental health. Please take care of your mental health. We cannot stress that enough. And with that being said, we never know who's listening. We have the 988 hotline. We don't have, the community has. I'm sorry. The 988 hotline, there's a text 741 to 741, free 24/7 service. That's the NAMI, that's the National Alliance on Mental Illness. And you can go to their website and reach out to the state you live in. And also, if you remember nothing else, call 211 for the general community resource number. That's 24/7. And also, we want to give a disclaimer, not a disclaimer, but we want to also recognize there are many things going in the community, churches who are engaged in the community mental health awareness and physical awareness. We know Faith Outreach is having something on health. There's Dr. Drumgold, who is the Bridge Builder community, where they are doing things for the young people. And there's Dr. Austin, where she has Warrior Watchman that is in Atlanta. So there are many things for homeless children. So there's many things that's going on around you. So please get connected. Mr. Perry?
Tick tock. The clock is running. Take time out to make a difference in another person's life and enriching yourself and to move to the next level. Tick tock. And that clock is still running. Whether you're sleeping, resting, or procrastinating, time can never be bought, and you can't get enough of it. And how will you be remembered to the next generation? This has been Young People Nation, and remember, there's always hope.
Let's go. Christ is the foundation. Know his word gon' lead us. Know I'm already going. Taking steps I believe in. Giving guidance to the youth. Giving guidance to the lost. Give the world to the project. Lead them back to the cross. He the #1 prospect. He the top boss. I was broke, I was empty. He the one that paid the cost. Really thought that I was cool. There was nothing like the savior. Now it's time for the truth. The whole world been waiting. It's Young People Nation. 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 The whole world been waiting. Whatever you going through, I know what he gonna do. Don't matter the circumstance, we going back to the root. Keep going, keep going. Let that seed keep growing. You need peace and we know it. Now it's time to live holy. Young People Nation. You know what time it is. Young People Nation. Get ready, the time is here. Get ready, we vibing here. We about to let God in here. Young People Nation. It's Young People Nation. Yeah, do it for the heavens, you know where we going. Influenced by his love, you know we gotta show it. It's time to put the youth onto what God is doing. Cause I can tell you now, right now, that God is moving. It's Young People Nation.